Hi lovely people, it's Danny here from Our Humble Home DIY. Thanks for clicking on this video today. I am doing over my laundry and it will be a big project, but I'm doing it in chunks, I guess. So in today's video I'll be attempting to make over the laundry tub, the tiles, the splashback tiles behind it, and the taps. Our laundry has really been a workhorse. Like, this house is over 30 years old and it just has been a work sort of station, and no one's really ever sees it or goes into it, I guess. But now it's being used as sort of like an entryway into the house, because Georgia is teaching in one of the rooms, and when kids or people are in the cabin, they also may need to use the facilities, so they'll have to walk through the laundry to do that. And so I feel that we should really do something with the laundry and make it a bit more presentable. So I will be, like I said today, be doing the tub, but I'll also be painting. I'll be fixing things up, which is really exciting. The first step, I guess, with the tub is to clean it. And just a warning, this is yucky. This step is yucky, but it's very necessary. I don't ever use the tub, really. I haven't used it in a long time. These are bubbles that are coming through. I've got the washing machine on. I don't know why this happens. I think I put too many suds in there, but I thought, well, it might be a good opportunity. It might bring up some of the dirt. So I try to get some more of the yucky stuff out. It was really slippery, actually. The tweezers on my fingers are really slippery, and I'm thinking, I hope the tweezers don't slip out. And they did. They slipped out. Don't tell David. I haven't told him. That's probably in the bicycle by now. Yeah, so once I'd cleaned and scrubbed the tub, removing the silicone too, because I will be replacing it with new silicone, and I'll also be doing something to the tiles as well. It'll be okay to use the steel scour, because I'm thinking that because I am painting it and it's plastic, it might be a good idea to sort of scuff it up and make it a little bit rough. Whether I needed to do that, I'm not sure, but it also did clean it up a lot. The marks on there are a lot more noticeable than you can see through their camera. It did really look quite disgusting in there, and they just wouldn't come out. It looked like a really old tub, and we did sort of think of replacing just the actual tub part, but I couldn't find anything that was the right size. Like I said, our house is 30 years old, and I don't think they'd make the same sort of thing. But anyway, before painting, I actually let that dry overnight, so it was really dry, and I taped off the tap in case it dripped. I'm using my Dulux Precision Ultra Adhesive Primer, and this is what I've been using for everything. I've been using it for makeovers, been using it for lots of different things. Actually, the base of the lamps that I did, the ceramic base, it was so slick and shiny, I used it for that. It's very important to use a primer and an adhesive primer when doing this. Now, I'm not too sure how this is going to work, how this is actually going to wear, but I am doing it because I figure it can't look any worse than it is. So this is the first coat. As you can see, I mean, it's bringing it up a lot whiter. You can sort of see it's a bit streaky, and you can still see the mark underneath. So it definitely will need 2 coats of primer, and that should do. Also, the primer will not only cover the marks, but like I said before, it'll help the adhesion, because this is an adhesion primer. And the paint I'm going to be using to paint over this primer and to paint the actual tub with, you may have seen I use it a lot for different things, and that's my tile and laminate paint. You can buy specific tub and bathtub and tub paints. I'm just using this because I had it and it's costing me nothing. So I have actually painted all my tiles with this in the shower, in the shower, in the bathroom splashbacks, in the kitchen splashback. I have also used this for my wicker lounge. What else? I think I've used it for other things as well. But now I thought I'm going to use it for this tub. It is not a water-based paint. It is an enamel. It is ultra hard wearing. It's so great on the tiles. It really is. It doesn't discolor. And I'm really, really pleased with it. Also on the wicker, it's stood up really well. So I'm just going to see how this goes. Painting that with the first coat of enamel wool tile paint, and it was really hard to see because everything's so white. It's hard to see if I've got into all the nooks and crannies. I think I have. So this is going to take about 8 hours to dry, probably. I'll open the door. George's teaching. And I just told her if any kids come through to go to the toilet to be careful. But yeah, I'll do probably 2 coats. We'll see how we go. And I was going to use the roller, and I did start to, but it just was a bit thin, I thought, going on, and also on the corners there it was sort of hard to get into. But it's already looking so much better. It looks brand new. I'm just hoping I got to the edges okay. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that so far. So hopefully it will all dry good. And tomorrow I'll put another coat on. We'll see how that goes. So this is actually after the second coat. I'm just doing 2 coats. I thought that would do. And I let that dry really well. And I'm really pleased with it. It's come up really well. I mean, it is an old tub, so it's not perfect. But I'm pleased with it as it is at the moment. So this is what I'm using to just cover up the tiles at the back. They're adhesive tiles. Georgia had a packet she bought from Kmart, and I tried to get another packet, but they never had any there, and they had 1 left at Target, so that was lucky. I didn't want to, chip all the tiles off and try to tile it myself, especially around the taps. That would be really hard because I don't have a tile cutter or anything like that. Plus, this was just meant to be a really budget-friendly sort of makeover, but more like a refresh to make the space more presentable. So I made a template just out of brown paper, and I'm using this template to figure out where I have to cut the actual tiles. So it just makes it so much easier to do that way, and you can get it in the perfect spot. When I did do the first one though, I didn't read the instructions, and at the end there I should have cut. It's sort of hard to explain, but some of those are sort of flat. They're not 3D, and I think that's where the joint is meant to be. So the other way, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. I didn't read the instructions, and to be honest, I still don't know whether I've put these on properly, but in the end, it was all okay. So I did have to change that, and I ended up making another template so I could get the cut in the right place. And that was all good then. That one was quite easy. The next cut was a bit more difficult because I had to navigate around the spout and also the tap. And it was just awkward. That whole side was pretty awkward because of all of the cuts and things. And also, when you're putting sticky things on walls, it's hard. This wasn't too bad peeling it off, it's just that sticking it down flat was difficult. Although I do know where I went wrong with this in the end. I sort of figured it out. What had happened was where the actual spout and tap goes, I didn't cut it properly. So the middle spout and the other tap, I cut up too high. So I had to take it off and sort of cut down below. And I think that's what was making the sticky paper not sort of stick flat. And yeah, that's what the problem was. So in the end, I figured it out, but it was a bit of a nuisance just doing this part and trying to get it right over those taps and the spout. I did in the end, and I was pleased with that. The rest of it was pretty easy. It wasn't too bad because I didn't have to make any cuts or anything like that, apart from just the measurements. So I finished that off, and it didn't really take all that long after that. So when editing, I realized my mistake. The bit I cut off at the very end, the first piece I put on, I cut it off. I should have flipped that tile over, and that end should have been where these pieces join up, and then it would have been nice and neat. So in other words, there should be a sticker underneath the joins, and there shouldn't be just tile or the back of your wall or wherever you're putting them onto. There should be the sticker there, and the tile will stick over the top. That's what I did wrong. I just realized. You can buy, there's so many sticky tiles that you can buy. I mean, this is pretty bargain basement ones from Kmart, and probably maybe not the best quality. I'm sure if you buy maybe something off Amazon, it might be a bit different. Yeah, there are a lot of pretty ones you can get. I just use these because, like I said, it's a budget makeover, and I already had one packet of them, and I think the other packet was $12. So it really was very cheap. That's for sure. When I had put this side on, I noticed there that the joins weren't sticking down properly, so I thought I would just put a bit of glue in there to try to stick them down. The reason they weren't sticking down was because the joint actually fell right on where the grout line was on the tile underneath, and so there was sort of a bit of a gap, and they just wouldn't stick. And the final step of this is caulking. I don't mind doing the caulking, especially when I use the masking tape, because then you don't have to worry about it being neat when you're smoothing it out. The tape takes care of that. And I always use a little bit of water with dishwashing liquid in it, and that helps also to smooth it out as you go along. I think Dad gave me that tip actually. It was a really good tip. This does dry pretty quickly too, so if you are going to use masking tape, and whenever I use it, I will take it off straight away. I don't let the silicone dry. I think if you did, it would sort of rip it off, and it would be hard to get off, and it wouldn't come off smoothly. But it does give a nice, neat, clean result, that's for sure. The last step was putting on the taps. David did that. These were from Bunnings, and like I said, bargain basement budget price. I think the tap and the spout was $44, and the washing machine taps were $35 or something like that. So it's gone from this to this. A lot better than it was. And look, you know me with flowers, I just shoved them in every nook and cranny. There was a hole in the side of the tub, so I just put these flowers there. They were from Kmart. So here's a final result. I really love it. It's nice and fresh, and new and clean, and it will do for a while. It's more presentable, that's for sure, and not as embarrassing when people walk through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for follow-up laundry makeover videos. Have a great week and bye for now. As a primer, 3-in-1 prep with Taubmans. I asked at Bunnings, and while I use primer a lot in my makeovers, they suggested this particular one. It's good for blocking out the tannins, because this is a Nordic pine, I think Finnish Nordic pine, and I could just see that it was